Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia. Here on my channel, I do all things affordable fashion and beauty. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, drugstore, makeup collections, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. All right, you guys, I'm really excited to get into the video, this beautiful collection from Profusion Cosmetics, but I do want to just give you guys some full transparency first here. I've been very, very ill and I've been trying to get over it. I've taken some time off and I did attempt this video yesterday. I got a little bit into it and I had to just give up. My voice couldn't handle it. I just wasn't feeling well enough to commit to the whole video. So I'm going to attempt this again today. My voice is still not the best, so do bear with me. I do plan on creating a look for you guys today with this collection, but I did finish the look just off camera yesterday. I'm going to count that as one of my looks. I'm going to give myself the grace, even though I'm not filming it for YouTube and you guys, I did fully finish the look and I will have all my thoughts about the shades that I used and, you know, the formula. So I'm going to count that as one down, but you guys are going to get another look out of me on camera. But let me go ahead and show you guys this beautiful collection. So it is the Petal Perfect Collection and it is so pretty. It is beautiful for spring. So first we have this mega palette. This is a 35 pan palette. And you guys, this palette is beautiful. I am going to pop in some pictures over here because I really want you to be able to see the details. There are a few shades in here that are these 3D rosettes that are so pretty, and you have so many different textures in here when it comes to the shimmers. You have some really smooth, you have some more textured shimmers in here, you have more glittery, you have more just kind of like a sheen. Lots and lots of fun things to play with in here, and I think the color story is beautiful. It is a little overwhelming being 35 shades. I think if it was 24, it would be just a little bit more manageable, but you guys, this palette is $12, which is insane for a 35 pan palette. And Profusion really has awesome quality. I will get into the shades that I used yesterday in the look that I created. I do have some thoughts about the formula, but for right now, I just wanted to show you this palette, show you the color story, spring colors, lots of neutrals in here, warm and cool tones. Then we have this set of sponges. Now, I'm not a big sponge girl, so I did not open this. I will end up giving this to a friend or a family member while it's still intact in the box. This is $10 though, and you do get a bunch of minis, and then you get a couple of different shapes in here. So I think that's a really good deal if you love brushes. Now, I do have a pair of lashes outside of the box that I used yesterday. But you have this pack of 5. This is the Garden Glamour pack, and I'm going to go ahead and take it out so I can show you a little bit better. So you have some really natural lashes here. You have these adorable ones here that have these little flowers on them. That's so cute. The ones that are missing are the ones that I used in my look yesterday. They're kind of stuck together here, but they're kind of like an in-between. They're still pretty natural. Then you have some of the more dramatic here. These are fuller, and then these are more of those like curled lashes. I love Profusion's lashes. I buy them all the time myself. They get plenty of wear out of them. I'd say like 6 easy wears out of each pair. This is $10 for 5, so $2 each. I think that is a really good deal. Then we have these highlighters. So I actually already owned 2 almost identical to this that I had purchased off of Mews, but I'd seen that they went viral from Amazon, and I want to say they were $8 each on Amazon. I'm not sure how much they were on Mews. These are $4 each. They're almost identical to the ones I already owned, but this one is like an icy one. This one is a more bronzy one. Here is what the applicator looks like, which is kind of strange. I know thinking, but it actually works pretty well. Now, these are more of a sparkly, dispersed glitter, not chunky. I do think it's really pretty and soft. It's not like a wet highlighter look. It's not a glow from within. It's going to be little sparkles, and it does work really well patting it on the skin. I do think that these would be really pretty on the chest in the summertime. These are $4 each. Then we have a set of 4 lip oils here, and they have an ever so slight tint to them. I did use this one yesterday with the look that I created, and I like the consistency of these. They are not too thin. They are on the thinner side, but they're not like watery where they disappear. They stay on for a good amount of time, but they're not thick either. There's no scent to them. And then the doe foot is plastic, which is kind of weird. And I didn't know if I liked that at first, but if you think about it, it's probably more sanitary than like a felty doe foot. I bet you get less bacteria on a plastic one. Never really seen that before, but I do think they're cute, and it's $8 for the 3. Then we have our last items are these cream blushes, and we have Pretty Poppy here. That is a bronzy warm tone. And then we have Wild Rose, which is a really pretty rose shade. I did use this one yesterday in the look, but I'll pop in those pictures here in a second when I talk about that look and tell you what shades I used in the palette. All right, you guys, so I promise I am gonna do a look here in a minute for you guys, but right now I'm just going to tell you what I used yesterday. I'm going to pop the picture over here of the look. I ended up really loving it, but it was kind of a journey. I will tell you why. So I first went in with Cherry Blossom here. That's a beautiful shade. Looks just like it does in the pan. It really does look like a cherry blossom off the tree. No problems with that shade. Then I went in with Tulip right here. Now Tulip was a lot brighter pink than I thought it was going to be. In the pan here, it looks like it's just kind of like a dusty rose. It's definitely a more vibrant pink, and that isn't exactly what I was going for in my look. So to kind of try to tone that down, make it more cool toned, a little bit more purpley than it was, I went in with Lavender. This was a beautiful matte shade, one of those rosette shades. Really, really pretty. No issues with that. Then I still just, it was making me look sick because I was sick. I am sick. But that pink eye, it was just, I don't know. I just wasn't loving it. I did go in with Orchid here on the lower lash line. It was pretty, but it was just too much pink again. So then I went in with Red Dahlia. Now, this is a brown shade. I'm not sure what a Red Dahlia flower looks like, but I don't know if it's brown or if it's red. But this is Red Dahlia. It is a beautiful, kind of a cool toned brown. It looks warm, like, well, it doesn't really look warm in here. It just looks like nice and neutral brown, but it's pretty cool tone, pretty deep. And I ended up putting that on the outer portion here just to give it some contrast and to get rid of that pink. And then I just decided I don't want to do the full pink here on the lid. So I took this shade and I ended up putting it all over the lid. But I did that actually after trying 2 shimmers that I didn't love. So that is Prickly right here and Lily. And I'll go ahead and put those on my fingers for you guys. The reason why I didn't love these, they kind of got hard pan very, very quickly. They are not sparkly shimmers. They're kind of just those very subtle, kind of smooth, but like not very impactful. And it was kind of a hot mess, to be honest. So I covered it up with that shade on the lid. I was like, I don't like this. But then it kind of turned magical because I went in with Bouquet. This is a stunning shimmer. I wish these had the same formula as Bouquet. It is a pretty pink, but it has some sparkles in it that really showed up so beautifully on top of the brown. It was such a pretty effect that I wasn't expecting. And then inner corner, because my eyes were pouring being sick, I was like, I cannot do a sparkly shade in the inner corner. I ended up going in with Cosmos right here as a matte in the inner corner. Once I got my liner and lashes on, oh my gosh, I just thought it was so pretty. Honestly, it looked, I could have probably passed it off as a Pat McGrath Utopian Dream look. I think I could have said, oh yeah, or maybe even Moonlit Seduction. I'm not sure. One of those two, I've done a look similar, and I was like, I could pass this off, honestly, out of this $12 palette. Not that it was perfect, but I was able to create a really beautiful look. And I mean, $12, all these shades, I don't really expect them all to be like amazing. Just kind of wish, oh, if they all had this better formula, the shimmers, I'd be really, really happy. But again, I haven't touched the other shades yet, so we'll get into that in a second. But with that look, I went with the Wild Rose cream blush. I actually already owned one of their cream blushes that it's in a different component, but I think it's the same formula. It seems like it is. I purchased that myself. I really, really, really love it and think that they're underrated. I think this is a great blush for $6. And then for the, for the highlight, my highlight was highlighting. So I did use this, tapped it on my cheek. It really, don't be like afraid of like, oh, it's glittery and not like more of a smooth highlighter. It really is pretty, but what's giving me that super blingy highlight look is I went in with Pansy, this eyeshadow shade right here. And I used that as a highlight. Whoo, I was beaming and I thought it was really, really pretty. So it's cool that you can use, you know, a shade like this as a highlight. You might be able to get away with the Bouquet as a pretty pink highlight as well. Maybe Plumeria even for a little bit deeper one. So that's neat. And then the lip, I did use one of the lip oils. This is the shade Cherry Blossom. Like I said, there's not a lot of tint to it. I'll swatch them here real quick to see if you can even detect anything. I think it's more so like, instead of a tint necessarily, let's see. Yeah, there's really not like anything that you can detect. If you can see that right there. They're really nice though. So I would say, I mean, yes, it comes with 3. So, you know, you get them all 3, and it's really just kind of what color you want to bust out for aesthetics, really. But all right, now I really want to get into this palette and create a look for you guys. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, I think what I'm going to do is create kind of a warm look here, more neutral. I may decide to pop in a color. We'll just see how it goes. I think I do want to create one more look tomorrow. I'm trying to get this video up for you guys, but I don't feel right only having one look that I do on camera, one look off for a 35 pan palette. It just doesn't sit right with me. I know other, especially bigger creators now, you know, they're doing, a lot of them aren't even doing like looks on camera, you know, they'll just kind of review, here are my favorite things right now. I feel like beauty is in such a weird space right now as far as bigger creators and the content they're putting out, not being thorough. So I would just feel really bad. So I think I'm gonna do one more look tomorrow. This may go out a day later than I want, but I'd rather be a little bit more thorough. But that shade is the shade Sunflower. It's really pretty. It's a really bright peach. I don't know if they thought about the shades and the names in here because you'd think sunflower would be yellow, but hey, we can't get everything we want all the time. Okay, this is Zinnia, and ooh, that's pretty. It's a little bit, so the first one's almost like a neon peachy, and this is a little bit more of like a true warm peach. It's really, really pretty. No issues with the matte so far in this palette. I mean, honestly, $12, you guys, $12 for 35 shades. Like, what in the world? And if you guys haven't seen me rave about, or heard me rave about Profusion's formula before, I often do. Like my Casper collection was awesome. Their little Valentine's one that came out, I thought that palette, it was like, okay, this looks cheap. It was in the shape of a heart. The packaging looked cheap. The pans were super tiny. And I was like, I bet this isn't as good a formula as normal. Oh my gosh, that palette was so good. I don't know why I'm always so floored, because this brand really very rarely has failed me. By the way, I'm going in with fuchsia. I said I was doing something neutral, and here I am doing like bright peach and fuchsia. Don't listen to me, guys, when I say I have a plan. I mean, sometimes I stick to the plan and then sometimes I don't, but okay, that's really pretty. This is giving me sunset-y vibes already. It's really pretty. But anyway, yes, their eyeshadow formula, and honestly, a lot of their products are just so good. And I will always say they are underrated. Okay, I caught up the other eye. I think I'm gonna go in the shade Grounded, this brown, because I mean, I did want this to be just a little, have some neutral element to it. I'm just gonna run that right here. I really love those peachy tones in here. I think that they are really, really pretty. Okay. It's kind of deepening that up some, kind of changing that tone just ever so slightly, because while I think I love a sunset look for sure, it's just, I just wanted to, you know, color gets me. I'm so drawn into it, and occasionally I do like to show some neutrals too. So this is going to be like a mix. Okay, now I think I'm going to go in with the shade Geranium and just see what that looks like as a neutral lower lash. It's pretty cool toned. Yeah, just like a nice cool toned brown. Okay, now for the shimmer. So let me just see what these look like. California Poppy, Marigold, and In Bloom. Okay, California Poppy, or CA Poppy, Marigold, In Bloom. And let's see what they look like. Okay, I swatched them right here. It's kind of hard to see with my like skin tone. I think I'm gonna go with California Poppy first. And just kind of put that on the outer portion. That's pretty. Again, this is kind of a smooth shimmer formula, not very like sparkly, just kind of like has that shine to it. But that one shows up much better than those teals did. Then Marigold. These are not to be honest, these are not my favorite Profusion shimmers I've ever used, because sometimes they're like amazing. I really, really love some of theirs. I do appreciate they're playing with different textures and, you know, in such a big palette. And for some people, this may be all that they want, not something too over the top. I mean, that's pretty though. It does show up, does shine nice. Does still look very sunset vibes. Okay, caught the other eye up. Now I need to do inner corner. There's a lot of inner corner options in here actually. Let's see. I think, do I do Secret Garden? That's pretty. I think I'm going to go with that. It looks like it has kind of like a, almost like a light penny shade. It's like a light copper. Yeah, there's like some peach to it. That's a really, really, oh, I like that. Okay. That's a nice shade. Let's see. Let's go on this side. This one might be really pretty on the lid as well because it has a little bit more of a shine than some of the others do. Let me just see if I can get it to show up nicely. Oh, I just put it right on the lip oil swatch and it just went. Okay. So yeah, that one shows up better than some of the others. So yeah, like shimmer formula in here is kind of all over the place, but I think that this looks kind of cool. We'll see what it looks like. Oh, you know what? I got to do the, what am I thinking? Let me do the blush. We have, I'm going to do Pretty Poppy this time because it is more of that warm toned, toasty shade. Will go nicely with this look. I've got my hair all kinds of in my face here. Oh yeah, I like that. That's a really, really, really pretty shade. Honestly, this shade is kind of one of those so pretty for spring, summer. It would also be pretty in the fall, I think. I think any kind of warm, orangey toned shade is really, really pretty almost any time of the year. Maybe not winter, but the rest of the seasons, I think that it goes. Okay, and I'm just gonna see what this bronzy one looks like. Okay, yeah. So it is right here. If you can see like how sparkly, it's actually really, really pretty. I think this would be so pretty on the décolletage, but I'm just gonna put the tiny bit here. I'm not sure if this will show up on camera. It probably will in pictures. Ooh, I don't know if you can see like stuff flying off, but if you really just kind of pat lightly, it doesn't really seem to remove your makeup. But let's just, I'm gonna tap it all over the chest. Ooh, I can already see how it's like bronzing at the chest here. Hello. Okay. All right, you guys. I think this is looking really pretty. I think once the lashes are on, I think we're gonna be so good. So let me do that and do a lip and I'll be right back. Guys, so it got real glam real fast with these lashes. They are definitely the most dramatic of the bunch in this pack here. These are like, woo, maybe a little too much. I think they're a little too much for this look. Like maybe this is something really over the top where you've got like really exaggerated wings, because these are kind of overpowering, but I do think the look is really, really pretty. I am going to real quick just put on this lip oil on top of this lip just to give it a little bit more shine to show you guys. Okay, that feels nice. And on the lips, by the way, I am wearing this LA Colors $1 from the Dollar Tree. Teddy Bear is the name of this lip. And then in the lower lash line, I do have an orange liner. It is a She Glam, or from Shein, yeah, She Glam Color Crush, the orange one. I've had it for quite a while, so I do really like these liners though. I think that this look is really pretty actually. It's just that the lashes are kind of a lot. Maybe it's because I'm so casual and closed too. It just seems a little funky to me, but I do think that the eye is beautiful. The orange shimmers do stand out a little bit more than I thought at first. And I really do like this inner corner. I think it's really pretty. You guys, I mean, is it like, I'm still doing one more look, so I don't want to give my full review, but is it the most like amazing formula ever? No, but like for $12 to get this look, I think is kind of nuts. Mattes so far have been great, but this is just look number 2 now that I've done with this. So now I'm going to go ahead and do a look number 3. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into that look number 3. Now, I am going to use the Wild Rose blush since I haven't used that on camera for you guys. And I know that I'm going to go, see how bright this is? It's very pigmented. It's a very, very nice formula, though. I do find it to be long wearing. Really, really pigmented. This one's pretty bright. I do like it. So I do know that I'm going to go in with the blues today because I haven't used those yet. And I just figure this pink will be pretty. Okay. That looks nice. Okay, so I'm going to go in with Iris. It is one of the pretty rosette shades. And I think I'm going to do kind of a little halo eye action. Oh, okay, this is deeper than I thought it was going to be. In the pan, it looks a little bit brighter. I thought it'd be more of a periwinkle shade, which is kind of is, but it's just like a little bit deep. And again, I apologize, you guys, for my voice. I'm getting there. I'm getting better, but my voice is still on the struggle bus. And I still have a cough, but you guys, this has been a doozy. I'm glad spring is here because I know there's still like a lot of, you know, there's the flu going around and things like that, but it does mean that there is end in sight and all this will die off. I'm just not a winter girl at all. I would be so happy if I never had to go through another winter again, unless winter meant like 70s. Okay, next I'm going to go in with Freshly Cut right here. I have not used this matte yet, so I'm just gonna kind of blend that in. Ooh, I thought this would be a little more green leaning, but it's more of a sky blue, unless, you guys, unless it's my skin, because it's so interesting that before I really started playing with color a lot, I had no idea just how much skin tone can change shades. You know how they can pull them different directions, and my skin really loves to pull cool. So, you know, it will turn some greens into blues, some browns into grays. It loves to pull things blue though. But they actually blend really, really nicely together, these two shades. Maybe better than it would have been had it been more of a, like a seafoam green. This is, at least on me, it is definitely more blue leaning. Okay, I really like these tones a lot. So I think now it's time to go in with the shimmer. So we have Bluebell and then we have Hydrangea. I can already tell by swatching, they're not the best. They're not the best. Definitely inconsistent formulas here. So Bluebell, Hydrangea. Let's see how they swatch. Yeah, not the best. So I'm just to see what it looks like. Let's put a little Bluebell down right here. That would be so pretty if it was just a more impactful formula. Like the shade's really pretty. It has potential, but it's one of those where as soon as you put your finger in it and start swatching it, it goes slick on top. So kind of like a hard pan. And it's a shame because, I mean, it looks pretty. It just takes some building. And then I'm going to go in with Hydrangea, which hardly anything picks up. Man, some of these shimmers, gonna be honest, are kind of a dud. Yeah, Hydrangea just doesn't do anything. The mattes have all been just fine. And then I really liked those orange shimmers yesterday. But that's just not really doing it for me. Let's see, we have Wisteria is a purpley shade. That might be what I put in the inner corner. Let's see. That's not showing up a lot either. I don't want this to be a fail because I think the mattes are really, really pretty here. Let me see. I'm gonna see what a brush picks up. That Wisteria brush picks it up a little bit better. Honestly, brush might be the way to go with all the shimmers in here, and wetting it, you might get more impact. So let me actually, okay, I got a spray. I sprayed the Hydrangea shade, the one that just wouldn't pick up with the finger at all. Might have gotten a little bit more shine that way. Not a ton. Kind of mix it in with the Bluebell. Yeah, it's just hard to even pick up anything on the brush. All right, you guys. I mean, the look is looking pretty. It's just not what I want it to be formula-wise for the shimmers. And makes me sad because the mattes are really, really great. Okay, for the lower lash line, do we want to do a neutral or just keep it monochromatic? Okay, I think let's just keep it monochromatic. I'm going to go in with Iris and just put that on the lower lash. At least for 35 shades, you get a bunch of really good mattes. If you're not a huge shimmer, like you might like, I mean, if you're someone that doesn't like a ton of shine, sparkle, you might like these shimmers. For me, they're not what I'm spoiled by. And even spoiled by from Profusion itself. I've definitely had better shimmer formulas from them. Okay, and I'm just finishing this eye, popping that Wisteria. This one does pick up pretty nice with the brush. I'm not getting the hard pan with this, but when I was doing this one, trying to pick up those blues, it seems to be so like these two and these two really hit hard pan, the like green to blues. I didn't really have that issue with the neutrally ones, the oranges, the pink, this Wisteria. It's just these two suckers. So the whole palette, the shimmers aren't a bust. It's just some of them. But I do like this shade a lot. Actually, you know what? Let's see. Just pop a little bit. Just a little bit on top here. Okay. All right, you guys, I really do think that this look is pretty though. So let me go ahead, do the lashes liner, the whole bit, then we'll come back and wrap up this collection. All right, you guys, I am back And I think this look turned out really, really pretty. Actually, it's the tone, like these mattes are so pretty. The tone of those blues are gorgeous. Just wish those shimmers were more impactful. But on the lower lash line, another Mora Multi-Chrome Gel Liner in Chroma. And then if you can see this little, just a little flick of something out here, it's actually really, really cool. I don't know if it'll pick it up on camera, but it's multi-chromed. It is from Profusion, actually, from the Casper collection. It's their duochrome liner. It's really, really neat. Anyway, then on the lips, I have this lipstick from Artist Couture. This is the shade Daddy, and it's like a mauve tone. And then for a little gloss, I did the Beatrix Fate Saga NYX. I love these glosses so much. And oh, lashes. Lashes again are from this set, and I went with Splendid. I did try to do Awakening first. It's not for me. I do not like the really, really curly lashes. They're like short, but they curl. It does not work for my eyes. So that's the only pair in here that I'm like, for me. The flower ones would have been so cute with this look, I think, but I actually have my two sons' baseball tournament starting here in a little bit, and I'm already pretty full glam for a baseball tournament, and I didn't want to go with flower lashes. But let's go ahead and talk about this collection and my overall thoughts about all of the products. Let me take a little drink, though. I was about to start choking for you guys. Okay, let's just start with the palette. Man, this palette could have been incredible. Now, could it have been incredible for $12? I don't know. That's probably why it has a few little misses in here. But for $12 to get all these mattes that I used most of them. I'd say I did not use one matte. Is that it? Maybe two. I think I didn't use two mattes in here. Used all the rest. And then I didn't use one, two, three, four of the shimmers. But I used all of the shades in here somehow. I'm not really even sure how that's possible. That first look that I did was trial and error, and I was kind of like using a lot of shades. So, but I still think for $12, this is a really, really good deal. Does everyone need it? No, like if you have a really extensive collection, you probably don't need this. But if you don't have a lot of palettes and you don't care about like ultra sparkly shimmers, this is a really, really good palette. Lashes, always good. I just didn't like that one curly Q, and then I'm not sure that I'll use the flower ones really, except for like a creative look, but could be fun for like a costume too, I guess. The blushes are beautiful. I love them both. I love both shades. I think I prefer the toasty shade just a little bit more. It's just personal preference. Formula's excellent on these. I actually think that these are really fun. I did a little combo today. It just, I don't know, it just gives nice little sparkle to the skin. And I do think like on the shoulders, the décolletage, they're really fun as well. Then the lip oils I like. They're not maybe my favorite lip oils because I do like a little bit of a tint, and these are all three clear. So I'm not sure that we need 3 clear ones. I wish there was more of a tint, but they do feel really nice on the lips, and $8 for 3 is a really, really good deal. And then, like I said, I didn't use the sponges. My daughter's already eyeing these. She likes sponges. She's 7, but she does like sponges, so I'll probably give this to her. I'm just not a sponge girl, but I think $10 for all these is also a good deal. So that is it. Everything with this collection overall. Profusion still just really does impress me. I really enjoyed my looks. You guys will have to let me know if you plan on picking any of these up. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping. Bye.